Say hello. Might as well say hello if you're going to dive bomb the video. Say hello.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I thought I would talk to you about canning. So, some of you who are watching this video as I put it out, you're probably thinking I'm nuts for talking about canning in mid-March. But really, in my opinion, this is like the best time to talk about it, think about it, plan on it. Because even before the phobia went around, if you waited until canning season to think about canning, good luck finding vinegar for your pickles. At least in my area, that's how it's been. Like, you can't find vinegar for weeks at the closest stores to where I live. So, I thought this would be a good time to go over all this stuff while I'm going over mine. And just kind of throw out a little PSA for you guys. For those of you who can or are thinking about starting canning. So, hopefully you can glean some little tidbits out of this. And get some use out of it. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is your canners. So this is just, this is the pressure canner that I've had for the last 10 years. It's a Presto. I really like it. It's done me well. So you just want to make sure you've got like all your parts. Make sure you got your racks, the weights, your gauge, just make sure nothing's broken. You are supposed to test your gauges every year. Get them tested. And make sure your gasket on the inside is good. Make sure it's not dried out, brittle, or cracked. This one's still going strong, 10 years old, so that's good. Make sure you have that little rubber plug on there for your, like if it overheats, gets too much pressure, that'll pop off and release pressure before it explodes. So that's kind of important. Another thing, this canner here is a dial pressure canner. Ooh. I actually grew up with the weighted pressure canners, so I'm used to using the one with those rattlers. But last year, so I've been using this just the way it came for like the last 9 years. And then last year I found, I believe this is put out by Presto. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But I will put a link in the description for you. This little gem here allows you to turn your dial canner into a weighted one. So how this works is, like you would just put this on there. This is 5 pounds. And then it comes with 2 rings, and so if you put 1 ring on, that's, 10 pounds pressure, and 2 rings would be 15. So you would then use this just as you would this thing. It rocks and rattles and does the whole bit just like, the regular rattle top ones do. The thing to note about that is that when you're using this, and you put it on there instead of this, this one right here, that using this is going to throw your dial off. So when you're using this weighted weight, you're not going by your dial because this is going to be incorrect. Like don't look at it. So you just use this and you go by the rattling like you would normally. So just ignore this when you're using this. So I'll link that down below in case you guys want to check it out. It's really cool. I love it. Next, your water bath canner. So if you have one like this one, I mean, obviously if you're an experienced canner, you already know this, but with these enameled, I believe it's aluminum, water bath canners, if you get one little dent in it, it starts to rust. So you just need to make sure that there's no holes in it. And you want to make sure you have your rack and it's not all corroded and stuff. My rack is actually missing. Kids. So, this one actually got a little pinhole in it last season. Probably can't see it. There's a squirrel in my house. Okay, so I will need to replace this. I don't know any tinkerers, so I don't know anybody who can tinkers? Is it tinkers or tinkerers? Either way, I don't know anybody who fixes pots. I don't know how to fix pots, but yeah, so I will need to replace this. This will get used for something, I'm sure. But I think its canning days are over. I've got my eye on a stainless steel water bath canner. Now I can totally, for sure, just use this with, you know, I mean, not just kind of set that on there and let it do its thing. You know, got the rack in there. You can use this for a water bath canner. You can use a big stock pot, as long as you have a rack or something in the bottom of it to keep the jars off the bottom. I can totally do that, and I might do that just to get by another season without having to buy a canner, because the stainless steel ones are a little bit more money than the aluminum ones, but could totally do that. The only thing is, like, I mean, when you're canning, you've got like you got multiple pots and all your mixing bowls and your spoons and everything's being used, right? So it's always handy to have like a separate canner or another pot. Can't go wrong. Okay, so another thing I want to talk to you about are lids. Make sure you get your lids. The stores in my area not too long ago just got another influx of lids and jars, and things were looking pretty good there for a while. But I noticed recently that's kind of starting to peter out again. So make sure you got your lids. As far as the reuse, try that again. As far as disposable lids go, I only use Ball. I have tried the cheaper brands and I just get frustrated with them. They're not worth the money that you potentially save, because in my opinion, it saves me nothing if the lids keep buckling and they don't seal. It just, who wants to go through all that work just to have it not seal? You know, it's not worth it. So I would not get these online right now if I were you, because last I checked, majorly price gouged online. Maybe not now, but the last time I looked, like a few months ago, it was like outrageous. They wanted like $12 or more for one box. That's like $1 a lid that you used once. I was like, no, thank you. I mean, I didn't really need them, but I was just, you know, checking on that. So yeah, I would not waste your money if I were you on the cheaper lids. It's just not worth it. And then a couple years ago for Christmas, one of my brothers got me these Tatler lids, the reusable ones. These are really cool. So it's got like the rubber gasket. It's a little bit different design than the old-fashioned ones, but, and then you've got this BPA-free lid, plastic lid. I know, this really freaks some people out, and it kind of had me a little, at the beginning, but putting like plastic, oh, you're going to put that on your jar with your food, and then you're going to boil it. It's BPA free, and really the reality is these have a coating on them too to keep the food from reacting with the metal. Not sure what it is. It's BPA free. So I'm actually not even sure what that coating is, but this is coated in something. The cans of, you know, canned goods that you get at the store, they're lined with something BPA free. So, you know, that's just the way it is. And these are pretty cool. It's a little bit of a learning curve with these. You know, you gotta play around with it, but you could always practice canning with water. You could always practice with water. Just, you know, fill your jars up with some water and practice canning that way with these. That way you're not wasting so much time and work and blood, sweat, and tears going through that. So, how these work, you just kind of simmer them just gently like you would the regular lids. Then you put your rubber ring on there, on your lid, put it on your jar. You can't even see this, hang on. Okay, so you put your rubber on there, get your lid, set that on top, and then you turn your ring Hang on, I cross-threaded up. Oops. Alright, you got your ring, your rubber ring, gasket, whatever you want to call it, and your lid on there. Then you put your metal band on, and you turn it just until your jar starts to spin. That's as tight as you tighten it. Also, something else that I have done that I've had really good success with is no matter what I'm canning, there's different things that say, you know, leave a 1/4 inch headspace, 1/2 inch, this and that and the other thing. I always, when I'm using these lids, I leave 1 inch headspace. Because anytime that I've gone like less than that, it's boiled out of the jar and then these don't seal. So that's 2 tips. You just spin this, turn it until it's just tight and your jar starts to spin on the counter. 1 inch headspace. And then another thing with these lids, when I take them out of the canner, I set them on the countertop and I just let them kind of like bubble, cool, do their thing for about, it's like 5 minutes. And then I take a towel and after this has sat for like 5 minutes, I go ahead and I tighten them. And then once you do that, you know, you check on them like however many hours later, the next day, whenever you do it, they should all be sealed. So I've had very few seal failures doing those things. So if you're having trouble with those, try that, see if it helps you out. Another thing, you might want some of these storage caps if you don't have them already. These are great for like when you've opened a jar of pickles or you've got like sauerkraut or something that might react with metal over time. These are great. Because if you keep, you know, pickles and things like that, that'll cause your bands to rust if you store them in the fridge like that. So if you want to protect your bands, get a few of these, they work great. Make sure you get your magnet. Of course, that doesn't work for the Tattler lids. Your lid lifter, I should say. For the Tattler lids, I just use a fork. Just kind of pick it up with a fork, and yeah, it's hot, so just watch yourself. If you do jellies and jams, make sure you get your Cerdo or whatever you use. Make sure you get them ahead of time. Berry season will be coming up before you know it. Make sure you get your funnel and your jar lifter. Another thing that I like that's kind of handy is this apple peeler and core by, this one's by Pampered Chef. I'm sure there's other companies that make it. This just clamps right onto your table, and you put your apple on there and turn the handle and it peels and cores your apple like really fast. The kids love it. They love using it. So usually we got like one of them's peeling and coring the apples and the other one's helping mash them down in the pot, make applesauce. So alright, let me see. So make sure you got your vinegars that you want. Now would be the time to plant dill. Almost everybody is looking for dill come canning season. Oh, you know so-and-so got any dill in their garden and stuff? So this would be a good time. Make sure you get some dill seeds. Let's see, any pickling spices, anything, you know, make sure you've got, look through your favorite recipes, your canning recipes, make sure you got all the spices and the ingredients and the tools that you have to do what you want so that you don't get stuck later on going, oh, I forgot about this or that or whatever, and now I can't find it anywhere because the shelves are all wiped. And so, yeah, that's just the way it was even before the phobia and the supply chain thing, and now everything else going on. Just not even gonna go there, but so don't go all Y2K on me. I just figured, you know, there's a difference between like flipping out and panicking and hoarding a whole bunch of stuff and just being wise and planning ahead. So, and if I'm forgetting something, go ahead and drop it down in the comments below because I'm sure I forgot something. But hope this helped you out. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.